Okay, people, it's time. Time to do the bean to cup Pantano 1 to 1.55 espresso test thing. I have a test batch to do, it's 2 week off roast. Let's dig into it. Let's get my scales, because you need scales. You need scales to weigh things. Weighing things means that you can be precise, and being precise is exactly who we are. God, I sound like Jeremy Clarkson. What do we need? We need some coffee. Barista Hustle cupping bowls. I hate these things. I hate them so much. They're useless. I mean, they're great, but they're useless at the same time. I'm sat on a blue stool. Not a stool, I'm sat on a blue chair. It's probably weird that I'm sat on a chair and I'm looking at everything sideways. Anyway, so dosing, 18 grams. Let's do 18 and a half. I don't know what the retention is on this machine, so we're gonna go half a gram, 18 and a half. Don't know what my previous settings are either. Can anybody remember? I cannot. Anyway, 18 and a half grams into there. Do we preheat this? I mean, does it get preheated in this machine? Oh, it didn't clean the group heads. Oh well. Let's pull a shot. What size are we on? So I'm on position, macro position 1 on the espresso machine, and I'm on grind size 10, whatever that means. Got no idea what that means. Let's grind some coffee. So let's do this. Made an absolute royal mess. Manual temp. I like manual temping. Manual temping's better. These are all from the box things. First, I'm going to inspect the portfolio. I made a mess already. Oh, Wilkins, stupid child. Let's make this. All right, weigh the shot. How do we do this? Double cup, press and hold. Looks good. It's brown. That was a ristretto. Right, very sweet. Okay, so this is really candied. Do you know what I need? I need a whiteboard. A whiteboard would be good. I'm gonna go get a whiteboard. Here's a whiteboard and my daughter's drawings, so I'm real sorry, Innie, but those drawings are gonna have to go. Don't know whether you can see, but this is the target. Dosing 18, yield 1 to 1.55, so 27.9, we'll call it 28 grams in some number of seconds, 25, 30 seconds, something like that. And what do I want the taste to be like? Because this is about taste. I want there to be a target texture of creaminess and syrupiness. I want the finish to be full and viscous. I want the terroir to be expressive still, and I want it to be sweet. I've also got to remind myself that this video with the Sage bean to cup machine is not a how-to guide. This is me explaining how I'm going to roast for this type of machine. So it's more for roasters, but I'm just bringing you home brewers along for the journey. So let's get back to brewing. I'm going to have a dose of 18 grams. I want a yield of 28 grams, and I think I probably need an extraction time of somewhere between 25 and 35 seconds. There's a law of averages, and that's a very average shot. And I'm seeking to get what I've just described on my nice whiteboard. So let's brew and taste. FYI, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I never drink coffee after 2. So I'm only going to do this in a one-er. And I'll then talk about the roast profile as well. Now there's a little ristretto for you. There's quite a bit of acidity, but it's a much tamer expression than in previous shots of Pantano at a much lighter coloration. Yes, this is a hyper-restricted ristretto. This was nearly 1-to-1, because actually I got the wrong grind setting and this overshot time, but look, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I haven't got too many stabs at this, and I really wanted to have a go. So conceptually, there is less acidity than the prior iterations. I think that that has been achieved by a certain amount of gas or input temperature inside of the lorring early on in the roast phase, trying to emulate a drum roaster somewhat, and I find also that acidity can be built very early on in the roast phase as well, to do with the delta T on the early parts of energy input. So I think an adjustment that I made to the profile has had a benefit in a reduction of acidity versus how I have been roasting. 2, a color with a lower agtron number, darker, is of benefit for this style of espresso. And this style is driven by texture. It must have some acidity because it's specialty coffee. It's an 83.5 point Pantano yellow bourbon, you know, all the really, really lovely things that are going to be expressive of acidity. But I don't want it to be rasping. I don't want it to be out of control. I also need this to work with milk. So that's going to be the next test, is does this profile, and when I say profile, I mean the roast profile, does this work with milk? I think it will, absolutely. It's a better stance now with this than the first ones that I did with this machine, the bean to cup machine. Anyhow, let's pull that profile up. I'm not going to pull the profile up. I don't have enough time. 3 minutes is probably the total that I can do of this particular film. And I've run out of steam. It takes a lot of effort to put these things together, and my brain's fried. 4 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon, and I shouldn't be drinking espresso. Anyhow, so I'm going to come back to this probably tomorrow, maybe over the next couple of days, and I'll discuss more about the profile and how I may need to make changes for the next test batch. As an aside, if anybody wishes to try this coffee, you can have some of the coffee for free. The caveat being is that I need you to show me that you subscribe to me on the YouTube. And the reason being is that I can do longer form stuff there, and I want to give people an incentive of getting over there. So come to the market, come to the roastery. I've got 30 bags, whole bean only, test batch. You can have it for free. Show me that you'd subscribe to me on the YouTubes, and you'll have it. Anyhow, have a great day.